Buongiorno.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this second day of Be Open. We are very happy that you're still with us. This is going to be an even richer day than yesterday. For those who were not attending yesterday, we have been talking about sustainability. The central idea for the 3 days, tomorrow we will be meeting at 6 p.m. to close this round of meetings, which are not conferences. It's rather an integral project that the Be Open Foundation, supported by Elena Baturina, has launched here in Milan these days, and it's going to take place also in London and New York, and it's a mid-long-term project. The idea is to develop a think tank, a platform of minds, of excellent key players, of thinking and acting about the future. And it's just at the beginning of a very long journey we want to do with you. All that you see is being translated into Russian, English, and French. We have web streaming worldwide. Yesterday we have had a lot of people following us, watching and listening to us in other countries. This is our second day. As you know, it's going to be devoted to happiness. The theme of happiness over the last few years has also become a very important economic topic. Sociologists, psychologists, economists are setting the new standards for quality of life, not starting from the GDP, but rather from the perception of a happy life. It's, of course, a very complex exercise, and today we want to talk about it with very authoritative speakers from various disciplines and countries. The topic today is even broader, is even more open. Without any further ado, let me just invite the speakers today. Here on the speakers podium we have Carlo Cracco, Elio Fiorucci, Ezio Mazzuo, Vladimir Piroshkov, and our special guest Julian Schnabel and Giulia Tacchini, who will be helping us in introducing this broad topic of happiness. They will do it starting from their own experience. We don't want to bore you with abstract theories. We are rather keen with this distinguished guest to come up with ideas, projects, concrete ideas, allowing us to get into the merit of the theme. I will give you a sort of introductory remark, a very short and concise one, for you to understand the spirit of the Future Concept Lab and my approach in curating and organizing this round of contributions starting from future paradigms. We believe we are going through a very special time. We believe this is not only an era of changes, we are really changing the way we live and the whole framework. This was the reason for gathering speakers from very different spheres, from the cooking sector, Carlo Cracco, to the world of planning, teletransportation, with Piroshkov, Brazil, an emerging country. Ezio Mazzuo is directing the Design, Research and Development Department of Grandene, a large Brazilian company. A brand which can introduce you to his word is Melissa, a success story in Brazil, and not only in Brazil. He's going to tell us about an opening in New York and in other cities, and then with Julian Schnabel we will get into the world of creativity in the broadest sense of the term, the arts, the cinema, a multifaceted artist, Elio Fiorucci. It's very embarrassing to introduce him. He's a name, a guarantee. He will share his vision, which has always been very close to the theme of love and happiness, love therapy. His latest project is closely related to this dimension. A change in the era. That's difficult to say, but it's extremely difficult to define the content of the change of era. Today, we will take a slightly different perspective. We will change about the new paradigms for the future. We will focus actually on 4 central paradigms, allowing us to organize these 3 days. Let me just underline that the whole work is also contained in a book, I Paradigmi del Futuro, 4 Paradigms for the Future, which is available in the bookstore here at the university, and it's also available in English language. It's an e-book that you can download. We have been working with the Future Concept Lab for about 10 years to produce it. Yesterday we were talking about the first paradigm. We were talking about sustainability in a different way with various contributions. I would really like to thank the speakers of yesterday's, Claire Brass, Sas Brown, Luisa Collina and Maria Sebregon. They have covered the topic of sustainability, moving away from classical environmental schemes. As it's always the case, ideological, political, sociological pioneers paved the way, as they have been doing in the 70s. There was an ecology movement, and in the last 10 years, this dimension has really spread, and it has been impacting on everybody's life, changing environmentalism into sustainability. We need to find new ethical and aesthetic languages and ways of producing culture around the theme of sustainability. We have been talking about it yesterday, and as I have done yesterday, I have selected a short video clip. It's a campaign which starts from our daily needs to come up with a different sustainability solution. Let's watch the video clip and cover the other 3 paradigms. This is why we think this approach to communication can be very interesting. The idea of lightness, a soft dimension, the softness is for sure something unusual when we talk about sustainability. Yesterday we were saying that it's extremely important to work on pleasant, appealing themes in everyday life to convey new values. We think this idea of using textiles and fabrics in a slightly different way to make everyday life softer and sweeter can be an interesting key of interpretation. Let's move on to the second paradigm. We will dwell upon it. It's trust and sharing. All the research over the last 10 years has highlighted in sociology that that the new concept of happiness doesn't have to do with a private or individual sphere as it was in the 80s and the 90s. It's strongly related to the opportunity of sharing happiness. The fil rouge of many contributions will be food. We will hear from Carlo Cracco. So this idea of sharing happiness through food, this is a great novelty if we look at the scenario of the previous years. It's a new paradigm which is some way opposed to the buffer show system. The fashion has been a driving force for 30 years, and it was focused on an idea of individual happiness and look to the capability of producing an individual style. So we will be working on sharing through new technological tools, but to do it, to use the social networks and the other media, we need trust, the dimension of reliability, loyalty and trust that are far away from the conventional theory of communication, which was based on image rather than contents. So it's just important that people talk about you. This was the conventional approach. Now we live in a different universe, in a world where it's extremely important that people talk well about you and that they use authentic terms talking about what you really do. So this idea of trust which nourishes the sharing. And this is a quantum leap that the companies will have to do. A company which has already done it, which is communicating in a very fair and correct way, is for sure IKEA. Let's see a small example of how the idea of living and sharing can also combine different aspects.
Yo me quedo para siempre con mi reina y su bandera. Ya no hay fronteras, me dejaré llevar a ningún lugar. No puedo vivir sin ti, no hay manera. No puedo estar sin ti, no hay manera.
Donde cabe uno, caben dos.
As you know, the conceptual communication school of IKEA with Apple and other well-known brands has paved the way to new values. The theme of sharing is also very close to the genius loci, to the culture of Sweden and Scandinavian countries, where this theme is very central. This idea of democratic sharing, of accessibility, of experiencing quality in a very simple way, in a smart way. This smart dimension which leads us to the third paradigm, which is strongly associated with the topics we're going to cover today. Elio Fiorucci, Alessi design objects, and Melissa shoes are very close to this idea of quick and deep. So speed is a speed of reaction, is being very smart and being in tune with the spirit of time, which is not just speeding up, it's not excessive speed, which sometimes jeopardizes quality. Fast food, by way of analogy, proves it. We have been talking about fast good, i.e. preserving quality, even if you want to be accessible and timely. Yesterday we were talking about the kairos. Do you remember the time of opportunity? When we talk about quick, this is what we mean. It's not just about being fast at any price. You have to be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. To prepare yourself maybe takes you time, a very long time, a long preparation. preparation, but there you have to be quick. You have to be on the spot at the right time to get this deep quality which is being required by most consumers. We do no longer have individuals and users and who are keen on speed. Life rhythms are changing. Weekends are being experienced as a time of decompression because people have realized that working 7 days a week doesn't add quality to their life and what they do. So it's a way of reshuffling the cards. And now we have vending machines distributing in a metro station small design objects or small projects developed by students who have been working creatively. Commodities are no longer trivial products which are used for a functional purpose, and they are very different from high-quality products that are not easily accessible. Commodities can feature quality. This is the new scenario that we want to cover with you. Here you see another contribution, and then we will open the debate with our guests. Let's say that for sure music for teenagers, and not only for them, represents an emblematic example of what I'm telling you. There's a rhythm, a quick dimension of music which is very intense, which conveys high-quality experiences. Many sectors, including fashion, will hear about Melissa. It's extremely important to think. We can no longer choose between speed and quality. We need both. It's just like form and function in the world of design and projects. Once you said, shall I privilege the form, the style to produce non-functional objects today? Function embraces beauty and aesthetics. So we have now really solved these contrasts. What I have been telling you is probably enough to start this second day. Tomorrow we will have the fourth paradigm, unique and universal. We will be talking about the second globalization, how the genius loci, the local culture, can become universal without giving up its nature. It's the country of the first era of globalization, with McDonald's spreading all over the world with its culture. Today, the dimension is completely different. It's multipolar. Each reality, each country, each city can express its genius loci, provided it's open, ready to exchange with the rest of the world. This is the topic. Tomorrow there will be major architects, designers. The project tomorrow will get back to the conventional realm of the design week, but this is a broad theme of happiness.